this bitch back up.
I know.
God, fucking TikTok, dude.
You want to open the script up? You get your script
Oh yeah, I don't have my script. Oh, it is right here.
Yay! Hi.
It's right here.
Happy
Hey,
420.
Happy 420, everybody!
We're
Yay!
live.
We're live from my basement, as we are, as we do, as I do every time. I'm live from my basement every time. But we are not always live from my basement together. So here we are. Here we are. And I was just ranting about I almost hit that button.
Technical difficulty. Not happening.
We would have had to come back. I was just ranting about my MED experience again. Okay, so while everybody gets in the room, it's about that time. You're about to get highly educated with the Cannabis Closet Potcast with Canna Queen and MJ. That's us. I'm Canna Queen. She's MJ. This is an adult content show with no limitations on subject, language, or actions. Opinions, views, and expressions may or may not be that of the host, their guests, and their subsidiaries. If you are not sure, do not worry. We will tell you what we think. And if you're still not sure, you can take a good look at our faces. They will probably tell you first. It's time to get this session started. Thanks for rolling up and showing up. Enjoy the show. Dang, nobody's in our comment section yet.
I know.
What is happening?
Oh, I did not go hit the Discord.
Oh, no.
I don't even know where my phone is.
It's...
Oh, here it is.
Good question.
Here it is. I was making the Little Tots hoodie.
We need a Little Tots hoodie because I got Little Tots.
I made Little Tots.
Yay.
Okay, sister responded. She is not going to be able to fly out because it is not affordable.
Bummer.
She's still asking about housing.
Listen, we got to get in here, people.
You may scoot over, should I?
Yeah, you should scoot over so you're more in the shot. I look dope today. Look at how matchy I am with all my shit. If you're in the comments, say hello because we don't say what's up next.
Hey, next.
It's always good to see you. We knew you were here.
Look,
really.
We got new merch. We got merch. It's
Hey,
ready to go.
Buy this shit for your wifey. She'll love it. Look at this hoodie. This is a hoodie. It's beautiful. I'm gonna dun dun. So it says Queen Kitty on one arm. And it says pop this kitty on the other arm. And it's got all of our different pop this lips and such. And I believe there's some hooded stuff. Yes, on the back?
Nope, not on this one. On the one I have on, it has some stuff on the hood. When you put it up.
Is there anything on the back?
The cat. The cat's on the back.
Whoa. Cat's on the back of this one. And then it's also on the back of my jacket. This is a customized jacket, but we do have some available.
That's the back of the cat.
For the general public. Mm-hmm. And the front of the cat's here. And then on the general public one, this says QK for Queen Kitty.
Queen Kitty.
And I believe this says Pop this kitty.
Pop this kitty. It says Queen Kitty.
It says Queen Kitty
and then
this
Pop
side.
This Kitty is
and
still here on this
Pop
side.
This Kitty is on this side still. So I'm loving this merch.
And then I've got the long hoodie on.
And it does have some shit going on with the hood, and it's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It's got stuff inside the hood and outside the hood. So it's got a little, oh, come back over. You're out of shot. There you go. It's got that going on there. And then on the inside, there's a little hidden little stuff going on in there too.
Little funsies.
Yeah.
I think some of the joggers have that too, where like on the inside pocket or something, there's like little details.
Little hidden stuff just for you from us. How long is that hoodie? It's cool. So this one is a hoodie dress, but we do have
we have a regular, just like a regular
unisex
hoodie. This one on me, because I'm 5'4", comes
down
down to mid thigh. Like,
mid thigh.
Like I could wear this to high school and not get wardrobe flagged or whatever the fuck that happens.
Fuck any school that still has those bullshit rules, okay? Let the girls wear what the fuck they want to school. And if a boy has a problem concentrating, then you need to teach him a lesson.
And wrap him on the
about how women are not
knuckles with
just sexual
the ruler.
objects, no matter how they dress. Stop sexualizing children who are still in high school. And I don't give a fuck if they're fucking each other. You are an adult. Stop sexual. Not you guys. I know you guys aren't. But if somebody's listening to my voice and has some bullshit, and these schools are stupid, they're sexual. And honestly, those rules are not even necessary. I mean, high school boys being what high school boys are, those rules aren't for those boys. They're concentrating just fine. Okay. Let's talk about the science teacher. Grown ass man. Anyways, okay.
So if you check it out, www.queenkittyseltzer.com.
If you forget that, we have a solo as well. So let me just put that up.
But Queen Kitty Seltzer, I think we did a pretty good job of our getting our
everything's
placement.
Queen Kitty Seltzer. Yeah.
But you can check out our website. I am doing some price adjusting. This is our first experience. This is all direct print, y'all. So you are going to be incurring whatever shipping prices are.
This is a tank top dress too, but I've been wearing it as just a regular tank top all day. I just kind of tucked it into the top of my jeans. Yeah, it works really well. And I've been wearing it as a tank top all day.
This is the racer back.
And it's got a racer back, and then it says, I think it's a little different, right? It says Queen Kitty down the back. This one, I think has
this one has the diamond logo on the back, but I changed it up so it has a little leaf and Queen Kitty down the center.
So check it out. We wanted to test some of the see how some of the print was going to come out and see if we needed to like brighten or whatever anything up before, or like move the tatas.
Yeah.
On things. So we have a big tots shirt. So if you got big tots, that's the one you want to order. And we're going to have a small tots shirt. And that's the one you want to order if you're more petite in your tottage.
But just like, natural boobies, you never know what you're going to get.
I mean, also, who cares if they sag? Nobody. Listen, as disgusting as men are, the one thing you can count on them for is to rarely, if ever, say no. So what if you got stretch marks? So what if you're chubby or you're not comfortable with your weight? I mean, I'm not saying so what about that, but what I'm saying is it's not going to stop none of them.
And I
love your body.
Yes. And I have tried to, whatever sizes that these can be made in, I'm making them in it. So
let's try to keep those all the same price if we can too.
Yeah, same price. Like there is no,
sizes,
it doesn't matter.
I don't want to
we're not changing our profit margin in here. It's all the same price, no matter the style or the size. The style will change by style.
Yeah.
So I am, if you have visited and you're like, I am making a little couple price adjustments here and there, but check it out. We've got a bunch of stuff, not just clothing. We've got some other good stuff.
Like she was saying, this is all direct print, and some of it is not necessarily being made here. And so that might reflect in some of the shipping costs, which we can't really adjust that part. So we're trying to adjust our price to make up for the potentially high shipping. Is that right? Yes.
Does that make sense? Hopefully.
I think maybe.
And then eventually when we have all the extra funds in our bank accounts, then we will actually mass produce and have some really cool. But we've been talking with some big stuff.
Yeah.
So send some good vibes, or it's just that we're trying to.
We want to do a
really
couple
make
of
a collaboration workout in a couple of different ways. Yeah.
So we're working on a collab. First of all, we're working to bring you, Queen Kitty's working to bring you some new stuff. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, new flavor. Yeah, sure. We can say that. New flavor. So we're working on that, and
next knows.
And in the next, you've tried the flavor. You can attest to it. Don't say what it is, but the extra flavor that we say you. So we're working on that in our CBD line. We're talking to people out of state. We are looking at other cannabinoids. But with this new flavor, we're going to design a can around it. And we were talking to one of our business friends and talking about collabing on the design. And so we're going to collab on the design. And then also once we do that, they make a line of clothing, and we're going to look at working to do a couple of like really solid custom pieces. They are going to be pricey,
right? Like custom, like fashion design, like
limited edition, only 3 available kind of situation. Like
not made from print direct, not handmade in a factory per the designer's design.
Leather, fur, shit's going down.
So,
as a matter of fact,
getting real.
When I think about it, I kind of want to do 4. I want to do a design that matches each flavor.
All right. We can do that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then that's it. And like,
but is it like each flavor, like a handbag is a flavor, a jacket's a flavor, a hat's a flavor? Like
I feel like maybe like 4.
Like
I feel like I would love to see like a 4 jackets, a collection of
jackets. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would love to see. But we could like, we could.
What would y'all
do
for
jackets?
a bespoke designer piece? What would y'all be willing to pay? We're talking again, high end quality materials made by a designer who is phenomenal. His designs like
blow me away.
Just Canna Queen's been posting his designs and such.
Follow me, watch my stories.
Yeah. And so I don't know, big things coming. We are just adding to our vision board and our dreams and goals of where we want to take this company in our next step. So thank you all for joining us in this journey, which, this wouldn't have happened without the Cannabis Closet happening. And this Cannabis Closet wouldn't happen without y'all. So always thank you so much for being here with us. Today we're just gonna talk headlines. I think we're gonna we're in voting season, y'all. Go vote. I gotta actually drive back up and hit up my polling station because I did not drop in my ballot.
Yes, vote. Listen, I told somebody, I said something about voting the other day on my TikTok, and somebody came on and put their propaganda in my comment section, which I have since deleted. But I did make a follow-up video before I deleted it. And I was like, listen, and I feel this way. I really do. Vote however you want, how you feel in your heart. Okay. Don't put your propaganda on my page. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Just the facts, ma'am.
I feel this way about a lot of issues coming up. You don't owe anybody an explanation as to why you're voting, how you're voting. You don't even have to tell people that. That could be a closely guarded.
Yep, don't even have to discuss it.
You don't have to discuss it. I mean, people will know because there's a record of it. But like, you don't have to discuss that about yourself, right? But if you choose to discuss it about yourself, be honest about your reasons. Like if you're like a one issue voter, be honest about that. Be honest about this is for me.
This is why I'm voting for it. There are several other points to it, and you should check them out before you make your decision.
Yeah, like I'm voting on one issue.
This
and
is
one
why
issue
I'm
alone,
voting for
right?
it or not.
Or not. But don't like, I've just seen a lot of surrounding the subject that we've covered exhaustively, Amendment 3 in Missouri. I've just seen a lot of things that are just like, but you're like, I saw something today that said the only problem with Amendment 3, I'm paraphrasing here, okay? But basically they were saying the only issue with Amendment 3 is the licensing, which is the micro licensing versus the larger license.
Which is a problem, period.
It's a huge problem. It's a huge problem. But that's not the only problem. And this individual is voting on one issue, and that's access for themselves. They're like convincing everybody else that they should vote the way you, I guess do it how you do it. I just wish you'd be more honest. Like, I'm voting for this because it's going to help me. I don't care how many other people it leaves behind. It's not like I'm a community kind of person. I think that's maybe a little, no offense. Okay. No offense. But what I just said, being a community individual, that's a little un-American. American is built on individualism. As much as we want to say it takes a village to raise a child, that shit is true. There are villages raising children, and those children are turning out amazing. So but they're not in this country, generally speaking. I mean, there are a few here and there, but as a general rule, that's not happening. We're individual. We're very individual. And so you're number one, there's just, it is what it is. And so when I vote because it's going to help me out. But also I'm like, oh wait, if that's going to hurt other people, that I don't want things that hurt other people. So I vote very consciously like that. You don't have to vote how I vote. You could vote me, right? And do that. I just don't be fake about it. Just be real about it. If you're actually talking about it, which you don't have to do.
Yeah, this benefits my point of view and my person. And then I guess so. It's when the questions that get asked surrounding the different points, and then there's no actual rebuttal of an answer or the fact to back up why they think that it's not important enough to say no to.
Again, I'm not trying to be offensive or anything, but some of the people making the commentary that I have seen have not even read the amendment. And so they're calling people who say vote no liars, which that's not in the amendment, but actually it is. It's actually, and they can, and the people who have read the amendment can quote where they've read it extensively. The people who are advocates for vote no have read this extensively and can quote to you almost verbatim what it says and where you can find it and how you can see what exactly it says. And so it's just crazy to me, to just see the way the two sides are making their points.
Right. So read what you're voting on, everyone. It's not just one issue on these ballots. So don't just vote down the line either. Take a second to read what you are voting for. There are websites that simplify any jargon that you may not understand, and so know what you're voting for. Go vote. Don't bitch about it if you don't participate. And
please don't. If you're not going to vote, I don't even want to talk to you about it.
Yeah, and if you're not going to vote and you're sitting here bitching, or you're saying you're saying things and bringing up points, and shut up and don't. But
you're allowed to have an opinion. I won't argue that fact, but what is it? What are you doing with it? What are you doing with your opinion?
You're
Nothing.
Just soapboxing.
What's up?
Hey everyone, thank you all so much
Thanks for coming through. We're just talking about voting, of course. So what we're saying is just vote how you want, vote however you want. Like if it's a me vote, then vote that way. If it's a community vote, then vote that way. I feel like me gets kind of lonely eventually. So I would prefer to vote for the betterment of my community and the people around me, to make sure that people who I love also have the same access that I do.
Progress does take time, y'all. Good progress. Mm-hmm. Nothing happens in a day. And we know that there's no reason why, just because it's not happening today, we can't continue to leave it open for us to grow into tomorrow. And that's where a lot of the a lot of the states and these everyone wants to go legalize. We want adult use. We want the money. We want the money. We want the money. But they don't want to create the infrastructure. They don't want to support the actual communities that are going to be utilizing this. We use social equity and veterans and women to make sure that we're included, being here, for this. And so veterans, make sure it actually is benefiting these people, and knowing how it actually is benefiting. When we're saying that a small percentage of these things are going towards this and that, know what your percentages are going to, and ask why they're not more or less, 2%. Or why they're going to a certain program at all, to fund the ones that are keeping that continue to keep the system going, while we're saying it's in the name of legalizing. It still sounds very restrictive and controlling and very prohibitive. That's prohibition. Is that the same? Okay, y'all. So, but for real today, Missouri, know it. You got it. We hope that all of your representatives, you have been heard.
I just want to say one thing about, listen, I'm friends with a lot of people in Missouri because I love it out there so much, and I love the people out there. But I just want to say one thing that I've seen that's really silly that's being said, and that's what are they going to talk about after Election Day? It depends on how the vote goes. They're either going to talk about building a better bill, or they're going to, and maybe getting a legislative option before the next time it gets on the ballot, whatever, instead of a ballot option, whatever. Or they're going to talk about how do we fight to get the changes that we need for the people who need it. Because
so now we start that uphill battle instead of just like starting from the,
like there's things to do. So the silliest thing that I've seen said is like, well, what are they going to talk about now? Like, well, if you tune into the show more often, you'd know we got plenty to talk about every day. Because
has someone really asked that question?
Yeah, no. I've seen it quoted. I'm not gonna say who, but we know.
Oh, we just like to talk about you. Be thankful you're on our mouths. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. And again, if you.
No, it's just like no. They were like, what are the advocates going to talk about? Not us.
Oh, I was like, us. I was like, what
I was like, where did that go? No, not us. What are these people who are like vote no going to talk about? Well, there's plenty.
There's plenty. Yes,
there's plenty to talk about. There's.
They have to fight against what's not here. They're going to have to make the changes that we want now, but
they're going to have to keep monopolies and big corporations out of small and low income neighborhoods, because those are not going to help those neighborhoods. They're going to take that money and run with it.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah,
that's like the name of our
that's
show
actually
today.
But at the end of the day, regardless of what your voice is saying, make sure you're saying it on the ballot. Go vote. Please go vote. I don't care. I don't want to know. We don't have to have that discussion, but go vote.
Yeah.
You got to do that. You got to do that.
Everyone adapts. Things get voted in and it adapts.
Participate in the process. Y'all, Okay, wait. Is the next thing?
I was going to use this as a segue to move forward.
Why am I mad right now? You ask, do you want to know? Because we had, 15, maybe 20 kids come to that. There's so many
That's
kids.
Being really generous.
I feel like.
I think we got walked by more 15 to 20 kids.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Groups of cute little dressed children.
Like, hey, we're yelling from the open window. There's candy here.
We told somebody that the neighbor across the street was not open for business, and then they did not come over to our house where the light was on, and there's styrofoam graves in my front yard, and there's an Oogie Boogie sitting there, and then and we're clearly standing by the door because we just why do I have so much candy left out? I'm never doing this again, you guys. I'm never do. One kid came by and was like, best house ever. Because why? Because why? Do you want to know why? Because I bought the best candy. I bought the miniatures. I bought the snacks, and don't fuck around. I bought full-size candy bars, mixed all them shits together. I had chocolate. I had the sweet like hard candy Laffy Taffy, like fruity. I had fruity and chocolate. I had all the bases covered. Y'all, I had all the only thing that I neglected to get was some Sour Patch Kids. My bad, rookie mistake. But who gives a fuck? Because nobody came to. We had nerds. We had gobstoppers, old school shit. We had, you guys, nobody was walking their dogs on trick or treat. What the fuck? There's so many dogs I go to the dog park every day and see new dogs. Every day. There's so many dogs around here. Not one motherfucker was walking their dogs. And we got the good dog treats. No GMOs, you guys. No GMOs. Not a single parent except for one with the baby in their hand. So I couldn't make the offer. Not a single parent came up to the door to even see what we were about. Which I would have given him a bong rip, y'all. I would have been like, treat for mommy and daddy? Nope. Generosity is 20 kids. And so many people walked by our house. We were like, where are they going? Where are they going? Where we have so much candy. Which are you okay? So much candy. You guys, she's
can't mute me. Excuse me.
She's still alive, and that's all that matters right now. No, what happened? And we like put them snakes in my hair, and she painted her face like a cat. What happened? And then what?
And the neighbors, I mean, there were people. There
were so many people out. We saw them walk past our house in groups of 5 or more.
And on the corner too. Like not even like people. So like,
yeah, we're on the corner, and we changed the light bulb to make sure we had a bright light. And also our garage light came, and we put the car in the garage.
Easy access. Unlike cannabis laws. We're gonna talk about Arkansas, right?
Yeah, so yeah, we should pull out. But that's why I'm mad, because my dog didn't even bark one time at nobody coming to the door, because they was just.
Will you tag Chris Vaughn to let him know we're going to talk about Arkansas so that he can invite
Is he on Facebook or is he on YouTube?
I mean, he is friends with us on Facebook.
On Facebook. So, wish I had my keyboard over here. I would have. It's just her. I don't know if this is going to tag or not.
I can probably
like that. I hope I spelled that right. So we'll talk a little bit about
says he's here if he's here. So
okay.
That's why, yeah.
I don't know if that actually tagged, but anyways. So Arkansas. Let's talk about it. Okay.
These are the actual just
current
laws and penalties. Yeah. Let me find an actual.
I think, what is it called? Amendment to, it's an amendment to their constitution as well. The biggest problem I have is that, and maybe this is a one issue vote for me if I were in Arkansas, which I am not, so doesn't matter what the fuck I say. But the biggest issue that I saw in there was we're going to issue 4. That's right. We're going to give this money to the police. No, I'm not for that. And I bet you a lot of people in Arkansas are not for that, actually. I bet if people in Arkansas knew how they were going to split that money up for real, they would probably not vote for this either. I mean, some people still would. People would be like, well, fuck it. Who gives a shit who gets the money? But I do. I'm not.
You should care. So
I'm
if
not giving more money to the fucking cops who fucking put us in jail.
If 10% of the taxes go towards X, where does the other 90% go? And that's just I'm just using math or like general numbers. I'm not saying this is anyone's particular.
If 6% of your taxes are accounted for, where does the other 94% go? Let me tell you, Missouri, it goes to your general legislator where they can do whatever the fuck they want with it and use it to prosecute nonviolent cannabis offenses that are not covered by your little laws. And then later on, they have to waste taxpayer money to expunge that, maybe, possibly, if it's, if there's good cause to keep it on the books, then they'll keep it on the books. What is good cause? We don't know. Anyways, moving on to Arkansas. Sorry.
I think that's to be determined, right? It gets to be determined by
whoever is looking at it.
That whoever wants to, not even figureheads like in the industry, not anyone that has worked in the industry for the past 10 years.
And there's not even like a guideline to what good cause is or isn't. Like, just like what? Okay. Anyway.
Okay. So Arkansas, you are voting on issue 4 for marijuana legalization initiative. And this is on the ballot in Arkansas as an initiated constitutional amendment. And so a yes vote supports legalizing the possession and use of up to 1 ounce of cannabis for persons who are at least 21 years old, enacting a 10% tax on cannabis sales, and requiring the state alcoholic beverage control division to develop rules to regulate those marijuana businesses. It doesn't say which ones though. A no vote opposes legalizing for personal use in Arkansas. And so that's just the little bit on there. And then let's see. So the measure would legalize cannabis use for individuals 21 and older, and authorize the commercial sale of with sales to be taxed at 10%. Of the tax revenue, 15% would be used to fund an annual stipend to all full-time law enforcement officers certified by the Commission of Law Enforcement Standards and Training that are in good standing.
None of y'all are in good standing, in my opinion.
So,
I don't live in Arkansas, but
I'm not paraphrasing this one. So, adults, and this is on Ballotpedia. So these are very plain, like it does kind of just, here it is. All right. And so I'm just going to read it. Yeah, I'm going to read it verbatim of what here is here. Adults can possess up to 1 ounce. Under the amendment, businesses that already hold licenses under the state's medical program would be authorized to sell at their existing locations and could establish 1 additional location for commercial sale only. So they're limiting their medical license holders, and an additional 40 licenses would be given to businesses chosen by a lottery.
So first of all, 40 is not that many.
I was like, that is not a lot.
But first of all,
how many exist?
They're compromising. This is the compromise. This is the compromise. This is the compromise. Look, you get first dibs, but you only get 1 new facility. And we might change that later, but everybody gets a chance right now.
Right now. right now. Let's see. So, Responsible Growth Arkansas is the sponsoring the initiative. They have, they give. I'm not going to sit here and give their campaign finance reports, but they do give this information here. They do have a quote though about funding the police.
Say it.
So Responsible Growth Arkansas said, "We all know that funding and supporting the police is important. Our brave men and women in law enforcement deserve our support. You can vote to support our law enforcement by voting for Issue 4 this election. Issue 4 will safely legalize the sale of cannabis use and creates revenue that goes to more funding for local police departments, more funding for protecting our communities, more funding for safer streets. A vote for Issue 4 is a vote to support our police." Are any of the other industries that are also being overtaxed for regulation sharing in this funding of the police?
No. Hallelujah. You sound like are we in church right now? Or is this a Catholic church?
No. And so, wow.
Yeah, listen, they don't get it.
We are on a mission to save Arkansas from the destructive effects of legalized drugs, and we need your support. That's really what this is about. Like, they don't like that they're, we want to legalize and make the safe access for, consumers. They're saying that the pot industry is directly targeting kids.
First of all, never have we ever.
No, we are targeting patients.
That part.
And health and the big pharma industry. Especially today's high potency weed permanently damages the teenage brain.
There's no evidence of that.
And teenagers have an endocannabinoid system too. And so just how we utilize it at the time, are we saying smoke your brains out? No, we are not. We are saying that there are so many health benefits to consuming this plant, and this is propaganda bullshit right here. Okay. It goes into, saying that teens who smoke regularly drop out at twice the rate. No. If anything, it's helping these kids get through school. You know who's dropping out? The ones that aren't getting attention and can't take, aren't being able to take care of themselves at home, that don't have support at home, and are, what is this? There's people being put in prison for cannabis, and they no longer have a parent in their home.
Dang. Look how that happened.
Oh, what? That's because
it's a whole thing
because of a plant. This plant. Anyway, I would just, again,
the war on drugs targeted Black and brown communities, and then turned around and after they've taken people.
Oh my gosh, they're saying we earn less and have lower IQs.
It's when they take people, especially fathers, out of the home, then they say they create this myth about fatherless homes, and they create this also generational trauma, which has been happening since before the war on drugs, but specifically that's what they were targeting: low-income families, Black and brown communities, so that they could spin their narrative of fathers not caring about their families, which is not true.
That's the crazy. This is the safe and secure communities who are opposing the initiative. The other one is the support for your police. So this is two different groups.
So your vote no's in Arkansas actually do not want legalized cannabis, and then your vote yes want to support the police with your legalized cannabis. I just don't even know how to wrap my head around it. I'm going to say in Arkansas, I haven't really studied that one to as extensively. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, what's it doing?
Okay. So here's some more about the business licensing.
Yeah.
rules governing the licensing of marijuana manufacturers and dispensaries. By March 7th, 2023, businesses that already hold licenses under the state's medical program would be authorized to sell adult use at their existing dispensaries and at one additional location only. By July 5th, 2023, an additional 40 licenses would be given to those chosen by lottery and would need to be located at least 5 miles away from a dispensary with an active license.
Oh, whoa.
A maximum of 120 adult use dispensary license could be issued under the amendment.
Oh, so they're starting with 40 additional license plus.
They do have the caveats of being 1,500 feet from school, church, daycare center, or facilities for individuals with developmental disabilities. The distance requirement for
Whoa.
For cultivation facilities would be 3,000 feet. So I guess depending on where,
so if you're growing it in the facility, you have to be double the distance away.
A political subdivision could prohibit commercial sales in the jurisdiction by majority vote of people on a local initiative. So as always, your local government may come in and make their moratoriums.
Some people hate that. I think that the community should vote for that. But some people hate that idea. But I also think, like, listen, if you don't want it in your community, then we don't want to be there. Like, I don't think we should be there. And that should be by the community's majority vote. So, like, in where I live right now, they don't have any dispensaries around here. Got to go to the next town over, which isn't that big of a deal. But it's just been it's.
But yes,
it's not 5 minutes away. It's now 20 minutes away. So
and we're talking about again, if we're saying access for everyone,
yeah, everyone should be able to have
then it should be everyone and not having to drive somewhere,
But also like for me, if a community votes that they don't want. Because they know that if they allow it, a big corporation is going to come in and take this money out. So like to me,
see, and why can't we write things in here? Can we protect our licenses like that? Can we say that for X amount of years it has to stay within and again, these are just they always find a loophole around it. You know what I'm saying? All of the requirements and everything would be the rules and regulations still have to be established. So you're just voting yes on this and to allow it to move forward. And so for Arkansas, the Alcoholic Beverage Control Division would be the entity responsible for of the Arkansas Department of Finance and Administration, so money. The part two, let's see, would be responsible, and so they would be responsible for security and inventory requirements for cultivation facilities and dispensaries, standards for packaging and labeling, including packaging that would not appeal to children, licensing requirements and procedures for cultivation facilities and dispensaries, requirements and process for oversight, inspection, investigation, and record keeping requirements for commercial establishments, and other rules necessary to implement the amendment.
Yeah, so the alcohol board is going to be running it, but just make no mistake, they can say it all day. We want it to look like alcohol regulate. No, you don't.
They don't know what
they
don't know what any of this takes. Yeah. So
it's
they're hopefully they will take cues from.
I don't know, maybe it is.
They're taking cues from other.
I feel
states,
like Arkansas might be a little different than. I mean, I just don't like where the money's going. And I always
okay, here's more about that, the taxation and revenue.
But they think the police are important, these guys. And listen, can we give the money to crime solvers?
Yeah, if
I would be okay with that. Like, if we're going to give money to police.
This is for standards and training. There should already be standards and training, and they should be required to have those required regardless, right? That's so can the 15% go to actual programs that help the crime, the investigation,
the detectives of like murders and rapes and like things that are on backlog.
that don't get attention because there's not enough money or funding for it.
Or trained detectives.
So
I mean, but you got to pick from those awful police officers.
Yeah, it's like we're not CSI. Well, why can't we be if we're going to be, using a revenue that's
if you're going to give the money to something, make it worth something. This sounds like they're giving it to police officers who went through a course and have a certificate, and now we're good cops. There's anyways, but also this whole idea
annual
of having to pay our oppressors is, I can't wrap my brain around that at all. They've been working so hard to put us in jail, under the jail for a fucking plant, and now they want a piece of the pie whenever we finally legalize it. What?
They do state it here, though, that at least they do state the percentages here, and then that the remaining revenues appropriated go back to the general fund.
So they're like, we're not gonna lie to you.
They're not gonna lie about it. It also says sufficient funds in combinations with revenues from commercial facilities and licensing fees will fund operating expenses for the Alcohol Beverage Control Board, the Department of Health, and the Medical Marijuana Commission for regulating the adult use.
They at least have laid out where 30% of the revenue is going. That's way more than 6%.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still not great, 30%, but
5% funds drug court programs. Okay, it should be. I mean, it should be reversed. Definitely. There should be more. There should be more going towards these programs. That are to offer counseling and education with case dismissal and record sealing if completed. 5%. That's it.
And rebuilding these communities too. When you return these individuals back to their families after you've stolen years of their life over a plant, and now all of a sudden you've decided it's no longer against the law, and maybe you expunge their record or whatever and let them finally out of prison. That would be a beautiful day. But also, then a percentage, stay with me here, okay? Stay with me here. 70% of that money should not be going to the general fund. A large percentage should be going into bringing people back into their communities, having programs about because they should have never been in jail to begin with. They had to cope with that. Now they have to cope with life on the outside of being in jail or prison. And lots of things change in 5 or 10 years. So there should be a program for those individuals to rejoin their community and figure out how things work and how job interviews work, all that stuff now, because it's all changed. It's not the same as it was, when they went into the prison system for money, by the way. But also, a percentage of that money should be going directly to those individuals who were locked up for years of their lives over a plant that you've now decided is not so bad, and we're going to make some money off of it.
We're going to make a lot of money.
A lot of money off of it.
And
so that should be going back into those communities. This is a market
just like everything else, y'all. So did I just
say, what's the word I'm looking for? So I want that money to go back into the pockets of the people who were directly affected by the war on drugs. Absolutely. I think but I don't have a decision, but you do. If you live in those states, you have a choice. You have a say into where that money goes. You have a say, Missouri, as to why is it 2%, and then 94% goes to the general fund so they can do whatever they want with it. Demand that they do something for the people who were affected by their bullshit before they decided that white men should make money off of it or could make money off of it. Come on. You got to give that money back. You got to rebuild those communities and those people, give them their lives back. So
it does go into a lot more about some of the other things that would be allowed or that is being amended to Amendment 98, I guess, is where they're at. they do address the medical. It's a lot.
So if you guys go to ballotpedia.org,
ballotpedia.org,
ballotpedia.org, you can look up your state and any subject matter, anything that's on the ballot for your state. It will show you, it would explain it to you in layman's terms, and then it will show you actually what the ballot initiative says, word for word, what the people who say vote yes are saying, and what the supporting argument is, what the opposing argument is for that as well, so that you can make an educated decision. You can go to Ballotpedia for candidates, for ballot issues. You can go there and it will tell you
future election, like for the 2023-24.
Yeah, it'll tell you what's
looking coming up.
It's very good website. It's a very good website. So definitely check that out. I highly recommend it. Oh, for those of you in Missouri who don't know whether to vote yes or no, and you've heard all the random arguments from all the people that you know, because they're all running. I have like friends on Facebook in Missouri that we have 50, 60, 70 mutual connections. That's how the conversations are happening in Missouri, in that huge circle, right? It's huge. Go to ballotpedia.org. No bias. Tells you what the ballot says in layman's terms, tells you what the supporting argument is, tells you what the opposition says, tells you what the actual ballot initiative is going to say word for word. It's going to be very helpful to make a decision. I would recommend it for your candidates, for your ballot initiatives. I would highly recommend that site. They did not pay me for that advertisement. I want to talk about New York.
Mm-hmm. Is this it?
No, but did you see that? That's a headline.
Mm-hmm.
That is interesting because that's what we're talking about, even though we're drowning in it. Okay, so New York is doing something really interesting. So I have a headline from.
Oh, you have it up. Okay.
Yeah.
For it here.
Mm-hmm. It's on. I don't know where it's at.
No, you got this one then. Okay.
So this was sent to me by Indica Dabstone. Thank you so much. If you guys see things like this and you think that it would be interesting to hear about on the show or to elaborate more about on the show, absolutely send us those things, because it helps us kind of focus on what you want to hear. And also, we love learning new stuff and finding out new stuff that we haven't necessarily seen. So Indica Dabstone sent us this. New York just dropped guidance for states' first retail weed dispensaries. This was on October 28th is when this was published. So let's see here. The Office of Cannabis Management today published guidelines for New York's first marijuana retail license holders, clearing a significant goalpost in the state's efforts to commence weed sales this year. OCM, which is their organization who kind of delegates the regulations, rules laid out in a 27-page document. New York Cannabis Insider reviewed. That's where this is coming from. New York Cannabis Insider. Friday afternoon, govern conditional adult use dispensaries and are effective immediately. So they've set out guidance that's going to be effective immediately, and for people to start operating and setting up their businesses. And then they're going to come back in and kind of tidy up those rules. This happens in Colorado a lot. It happened with retail. A lot of people were opening. This happened in Canada too. When I went to Canada, they had only medical dispensaries, but they let me purchase. They let me have a medical card and purchase right there, because they have these new retail rules that were effective immediately. They're going to come back in and tidy it up with some like solid regulations, right? So the guidance document serves to provide a framework that will assist conditional adult use retail dispensary licensees plan for how to operate their dispensary before regulations are formally adopted. That's what I said. they said it more eloquently. That's what it said. The guidelines cover topics from record keeping requirements to required training for staffers to inventory and tracking requirements. So similar to what she was reading for the regulations that we'll see in Arkansas. And come about 2 months before the state's self-imposed year-end deadline. So they're like, we have to do something or we're going to hit this deadline and then nothing's going to happen, right? Which don't we know how that works? 1 minute. It's just 1 minute. Okay. So, tracking requirements to open New York's first adult use dispensary. So they're coming. In an interview, this is where it's interesting to me. Like, yeah, we knew that adult use was coming in New York, but this is where it kind of gets interesting because some of these guidelines are very, very specifically written for purpose. So in an interview with Advanced Media New York editorial board earlier this month, Governor Kathy Hochul, I hope I pronounced that right, said that the state's plan to have 20 conditional adult use retail dispensaries open by the end of this year, and is still on track. So that's just by the end of this year, they're going to have some conditional 20 going. That's not their limit. That's not where they're stopping. It's just how they're starting. And expect, so still on track, and expect another 20 to open every month or so thereafter. So they have this plan. They're like, we have to process these licenses, make sure that everything's in order. We have a plan to do it so that we can not have a backup. This is their plan.
Right. No bottleneck. Whereas some states are bottlenecking you. They're
because
like, there's no plan. They're like, we're going to legalize it and yay. And everyone starts thinking that they're good to go and they're not because nothing has actually been.
Yeah. And they can't keep up with it.
And no one's keeping them, keeping you informed. We are. You can tune into us.
So regulations governing the industry must first be published before the market fully opens, and estimates for when the OCM will publicly release them have been pushed back again and again. So this is just a government problem. This happens in every state. Partly as a result, those in and around the cannabis industry in New York, including politicians, have called into question the likelihood of hitting the end of year time frame. So they're like, I don't know if we're going to do this. Shortly after reading the guidelines late afternoon on Friday, I want to say Kaylin Castetter, the managing director of consulting firm Castetter Cannabis Group, said that the document the OCM promulgated seems mostly good and is pretty standard, but he thinks one section could cause serious problems. This is my favorite shit. Okay, sorry. The guidelines say that retail dispensaries, true parties of interest, passive investors, and service providers cannot have interest in any business in or outside of New York that cultivates, processes, or distributes weed. The rule effectively bars vertically integrated multi-state operators from the cannabis retail industry in New York. So they found a way to limit and or bar MSOs from coming into their retail market and taking over small businesses in New York.
This is how you do good things. Like, this is like, these are the types of things where we want to protect our communities, protect the businesses that exist, protect the licenses that exist and the people that put their hard-earned money into these licenses and into these businesses. Like, that's what they're, like.
Is this a perfect thing? No. Are there going to be MSOs that are going to be doing business in the retail market, even though they're MSOs? Yeah, I'm sure there's loopholes. Yeah, I'm sure there's money exchanged, stuff like that. But here's the thing. It's going to, for the most part, limit that practice. It's going to limit it. And at least they've said, hey, we care enough to make an effort to keep this from happening. So MSOs, generally speaking, own more than a dispensary. They own usually vertical licenses in every state that they operate in. Oftentimes they have to own those multiple licenses in order to operate in the state. They have to get like a license to produce edibles or produce whatever product they're doing. So yeah. So they have to, get those different licenses in states in order to let their product go to market. And yeah, so that's going to limit people in New York. And we like that approach. It's a good starting approach. It may not work every time, but I think it's going to work for a lot of those. And if those multi-state operators want to come into the state, then they can fund these small businesses.
Yeah, then they can. Yeah, so then it should be required that they pair up. Just like in our social equity program, or
garbage.
Then it should be the opposite. Then if you want it, then it supports the community that the dispensary is in. It works to promote and educate about this plant, and also social equity should be a company, is also a company's responsibility to support. When we talk about lobbying, it's right here. It is happy 420.
Happy 420. Do we know where your phone is?
No, it's here. It's under Lady's face. Do we know where there's a lighter?
I got one. Okay. There's lighters all over this room.
Lighter, pants on fire.
Well, this quote goes on to say, I see what they're trying to do, but it's very protectionist. It's a very protectionist approach. I agree. What it basically says that, hold on, I didn't get it fully lit. I got it. What it basically says is that if you are in business in any other state, unless you only own a dispensary in another state, you cannot be part in any way, shape, or form a retailer here in New York. It's very anti-MSO. We're very anti-MSO. I mean, congratulations to those who started as a small business and are able to go into multi-states. And I hope that you're doing it in such a way that is helping those communities and not being purely greedy. But like a lot of these big corporations, some of us idolize, are really putting a weird taste in my mouth around the cannabis industry.
I think my biggest thing now and lately is just and talking about is the quality of cannabis. And when we're talking about Walmart MSOs, Walmart weed, Starbucks of weed, and then we talk about the problems with those corporations, and we're okay with that being in our industry. No, we are still a young industry, and we can still get to until they come in and try to do something federally. And then where are we? Then, everyone's positioned those MSOs so perfectly for themselves, but not the mom and pops. That's how big industry works, y'all. That's how the American way is. Unfortunately,
they keep taking their slices of the pie, and they don't. The rest of us just get. I mean, like what? I can't even get my words out right now. People who run small businesses in our industry are doing it for the love. They found a place where they found love. They found love in a community. Plant. They may have come here and said, "Hey, I'm going to make some money off of cannabis," but they found love. Like a small business takes heart, and it takes so much of your fucking time and so much support and so much love for what you're doing. If you don't love what you're doing, you cannot do it. You cannot do small business. And that's the product you're getting. You're getting a product of love. These MSOs are pushing us all the way out. All the way out.
And even to the point where, when we talk about just ancillary businesses, eventually all of that changes too. And we, as humans complain about the, customer service, the human experience, this, that. But then we're okay with just letting regulations dictate what's given to us, where we're allowed to go and what we're allowed to do with our plant. And no, will it ever be regulated by like a tomato plant? It should be.
Oh God. Well, I'll probably be dead when that happens.
My calendula that's sitting on, that's growing on the side of the road that makes medicinal salves. You got to regulate that bitch. Eventually they'll try, like it goes one way or the other, y'all. Like,
I was thinking the other day, I was like, what? I was like, we pay for water. We pay for a free resource.
Nestle wants everyone. That Nestle wants to control that shit. They want, so
we pay for a free resource, y'all. What? And then some people paying for that resource can't even get that resource clean. Anyway,
yeah.
So
water wars, that's next.
It's food wars is actually next.
Yeah, well, food deserts.
Stock your fucking. Yeah. I know
this is why communities should be allowed to grow. And
I'm saying, and in your front yard too. Stop making laws against growing food in your front yard. Yep. And collecting rainwater. Stop making laws against that.
Yep. So, making us dependent on corporations, not allowing us to, allowing things but not allowing things. Really take a look at, and get involved in your community. Stay at least keep an ear to the ground. You don't have to be a part of all the social events or this or that, but know what's going on in your community and how people are perceiving your life. Like participate if you feel so inclined.
If you feel so, otherwise stay home and don't at all. Like at all. Like don't at all. Like either participate fully or just don't at all. Right? Like no. I mean, I'm just like, when we talk about like voting, like don't come on here and start a goddamn argument about your opinion about something if you're not even going to take that opinion to the voting booth. Like that's where your argument needs to be had.
Yes.
What else is happening in the world?
It's always a headline, so I always like to see what they're saying.
What are they saying?
They're saying that the FDA is exploring flexibilities in marijuana scheduling review. But the top officials are saying the DEA has the final word.
They're like, no, it's yours. No, it's yours. No, it's yours.
That's the fun circle. So it does talk about that in here. So this was from October 27th. This is from marijuanamovement.net. And
here's a novel idea. What if they got together, discussed it, and made a decision together? Since it's both of their responsibility, clearly.
So it says they're exploring what flexibilities might have when it comes to descheduling or scheduling review, directed by President Biden.
Yeah, they're not going to deschedule it. Just don't even hold your breath about it.
She said that while the FDA will lead the scientific and medical evaluation of cannabis, it is the DEA that has the final word on any potential scheduling decision. She said that she did point out that even doing scientific research into cannabis is very, very difficult because of the current restrictive Schedule 1 status.
They are the ones that put it on Schedule 1. You made it that way. Look. You remember when I was screaming about Mississippi? You all remember when I was screaming about Mississippi, how they were like, well, the rule says you made change the rule.
Change the rule. Don't let anyone misinterpret this. Like,
it's your fucking job. Like, explaining to the public why they can't do something because of a rule that they made. Then make the rule different. Like, you made the rule, you can unmake the rule, right?
Right.
We all know
it's gonna take a minute though, because change takes time.
We all know it's public record. It's public record that Anslinger, Nixon, and everybody else involved in creating this war on drugs did it because of and around racism and racist tactics. Knowing that, and big cotton. And what?
Big cotton.
And big cotton. Sorry. I was like, what? And okay. And knowing that, having that knowledge, this is public knowledge. It is somebody is quoted. Okay. There's a quote about this is historical. Knowing that is the reason why cannabis is a Schedule 1 drug. Knowing that, I have it. It's fine. Fucking deschedule it. You know why it's on the schedule. It wasn't even on the schedule to begin with. Go ahead.
So basically this representative, she is the principal deputy commissioner, who formerly served as acting commissioner. Anyway, she
doesn't sound like she has a real job.
She's the FDA's principal. Okay, spoke about the agency's role in scheduling review and the unique challenges of studying Schedule 1 drugs like marijuana during a webinar that was organized by the Council for Federal Cannabis Regulation. So I think she's pro deschedule though. She's
pro deschedule, but that is just some ignorant ass shit. You guys.
Yeah, she's the scientific and medical assessment with input from NIDA, the National Institute on Drug Abuse, to develop a scheduling recommendation, and that the DEA is not supposed to second guess its findings, but it's very difficult for scientists to study cannabis under the DEA's current policy. So again, this is the
my God,
circle of chasing your tail. Talk about chasing your tail and being like pointing at the other person and saying it's your responsibility, not me. But it's like
this is their trick. This is what they do. This is every time. Take cannabis out of it. Think about anything else that you might want to change in this whole world. This is what the fuck. Not mine. You
regulate it. You have to regulate it, but we have to regulate it too. We're gonna track this, but not tell you about it. And you're gonna collect the licensing fees for this, and we're gonna regulate it. But we're not gonna be responsible for reporting any. That's just me making up.
No, but I mean, it's just like this fucking. It's a circle jerk, you guys. They're jacking each other off right in front of us. We just watched it happen like a goddamn clown show.
She says the FDA is agnostic on cannabis and will work to determine the health risks and benefits of marijuana based on their 8-factor assessment.
All you got to do is go back to 1937 and read any of the bullshit. They said it on record. They were not afraid to say it. It's
they literally just have to deschedule it. That's it. That's it. There is already, and even though there's not so we're talking about medical research and this and that, and it is happening. It does happen regardless. It is happening in other countries. I think you said
Israeli.
There's another Israeli breakthrough, I guess.
Mm-hmm. They found a way not to clone cannabis. We know how to do that. That's not a discovery. They found a way to clone the cannabis molecule, the compounds. They can clone
without the plant, without any plant material.
Where did I find that? I'm gonna have to find that again.
And so, of course, there's no how long it will take or when the review might be done. Again, because the access to cannabis or quality cannabis, or even involving a processing facility that does make medical products, or even there are different studies going on, university levels, in different government levels, I think, of course, but again, access to product for these tests to be done has to go through NIDA if it's going to be documented and used as a actual paper, and whatever they, call that. So, yeah, it's the same jargon, just saying like we're talking about it, but we're not really sure how long it's going to take for that. And don't be fooled. There's like there are ads for adding a schedule specially for cannabis. No.
Stop it.
But again, it's keeping it on schedule 1.
If you're gonna add a schedule for cannabis, then you got to add a schedule for tomatoes.
Saying that cannabis it has no medicinal benefit or value, like, and is highly addictive, which is part of the wording in Schedule 1 classification. And yet we do have, is it anecdotal? Is that what it's called? When we're just, what we experience every day as patients and what we can document as individuals.
Yes, anecdotal evidence.
In regard to cannabis, or we're talking about how it helps veterans, but yet veterans can't get quality products at an affordable price. They take the risk of things happening or documentation on their medical records that can hinder them. So it just shouldn't, we shouldn't even have this as any kind of barrier for anyone. If and here's the thing too, I guess also though, the descheduling of it actually smashes all those barriers of those regulations. We don't have to that's not going to happen if we look at it that way.
No, because then anybody could
they want to license it and tax it and fee it and regulate it to their standards. Kid you not, like the interstate commerce, when they do open it up, if they are it's going to be very limited, and it's only, and that's why we need to be, talking about individual states' rights and banding together as states to be like, we're going to work with you, and we're going to work with you. And, and thinking in that sense, if we really want to, save this plant and keep it for everybody like it's supposed to be, I agree
with that. I was trying to find that but I'm gonna look for it.
Yeah, we'll definitely cover it again. We'll bring it up.
It was just like a blurb on like Instagram or something like that, and it was like, now this one of those pages like that. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just deschedule and decriminalize, and then let people out of jail. I don't care what they did under the influence of cannabis.
And this, it creates,
aside from murder,
give people the capability to be in this workforce, to actively participate in it. Don't you think that works in a way better cycle? Like if we can, allow people to give back to their communities, enter into their communities where it's benefiting. And so, is this is that
they know this is the feature, not the flaw, right? Don't forget that. Don't trust them for a fucking second to do the right thing for you. You have to make them do the right thing for you. You have to make them do that.
And if we continue to push that, the reasons why we utilize hemp and the way that we are able to, we're going to again back ourselves into a corner. If we don't continue to say like, let's legalize, let's allow this plant to be, really, if we're going to utilize it,
it has to be, and it should be accessible for everybody. This plant is about community. It's about what we can take, what we can give to the earth, and what we can take back from the earth. That's what this plant is about. Right. When you think about hemp, right? When you think about hemp, if you plant hemp in a place where the soil is dead, where there's just toxins and things like that in the soil, where you could not grow there, you can take hemp and plant it in that space, and hemp will pull all of the toxins out. And it also, like with the nutrients and everything, you would feed the soil as well. So you could give back to the earth in that way. And then the earth gives back to you with clean, fresh dirt, soil that you can use to grow a clean, fresh harvest. It's really like cyclical. And to just like, I mean, we all knew, right? We all knew corporations, the second it was legalized, were going to come in and do what they're going to do. But we can't just allow it to happen by regulating them regulating permission to them. That's what we're doing with these regulations. We're saying we give you permission to stomp all over this small business because we're not even going to give them a fucking chance to survive. Look at this shit. They can have a single license. They can only grow this many plants. They can't do business with big businesses like you and brand names that we know that their consumers are going to ask for and really like and enjoy. They're not going to be able to do business with those companies. And they're not going to be able to grow their business. They're never going to be able to own what you own. They're never going to be able to move past their 2 stores. That because this is the license they chose. This is the license they're stuck with.
Yep. And you can try to change it. You can work to change it. It's going to take a while because, gosh, you've been doing it for so long already. But make it harder. Make it harder for those barriers of entry for more people. Don't leave openings, for it.
Me.
And so, but that's
disappointing.
I hate that you saying that it's, I guess, applies.
I guess.
Anyway.
So, I don't know. Don't reschedule it. Deschedule it. Get it. I mean, like literally these are racist policies. And there's definitely a case to be made for that. And there was never a case to be made for cannabis being dangerous. Should there be regulations in the workspace? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. There are regulations in any warehouse space or any space like that. There are regulations like that. But should those regulations inhibit the growth of a business, inhibit the entry of small business owners? No, it should not. It should not. You should be able to compete on your levels.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It'd be like, them saying, oh, well, you have to have a certain license, a certain type of license to create your soda water, right? But you can only create this many of them to sell. Meanwhile, Coca-Cola can have a whole big, huge factory in every state. You can only sell in these states, right? That all would be what the kind of a similar equivalent. So it just like hinders the growth of like take CBD out of it, right? Take the cannabis part out of it and just say these are beverages, right? That their ability to have businesses in other states, their ability to produce more, their allowance to produce more, etc., is something that helps them grow. And my inability to do those things because of maybe a regulation would keep me from being able to compete with them on the same level. So we don't have that hindrance right now at all, but that's kind of similar to what it is. It's like, hey, there's just no way to compete. So anyways.
So who gets to buy into that license? The people that have the money that are going to have someone else from their company buy that license under DBA. And I've talked to an accountant, and she's like, that's all that is owned in these different industries. She's like, I've just watched it like be DBA of DBA of LLC.
Exactly.
You don't even know. And those people don't care about the plant. They don't care. They don't care.
Genuinely do not.
They don't care about the people behind the counter working for their company. They just care about the dollar, and again, they don't care about the plant
at all.
It's so hard. That's the hardest part about this is, being so overjoyed to have access to this plant and see how it can benefit so many people, for it to just literally be taken advantage of and
taken away from us, the people who love it.
Yeah, and being told to, like literally taking its soul from us. So
they're like, anybody can grow a plant, but like literally the best plants you're ever going to smoke or you're ever going to use for your medicine are going to be the plants that actually had human contact, that were talked to in nice ways. There've actually been,
I just said it today. For me, I feel like it changes the way that the medicine works,
because there's a connection, right? Because there's a connection. So plants are living things. Just because you can't see their eyes or see their movements, or see, like, if you put a camera on a plant, you would be able to see its movements. It actually moves. And there's actually some folklore, if you will, that the trees actually would walk to, like walk through the valleys and stuff, and along came us humans, so they had to kind of like stop their journeys and kind of root it into place or whatever. But there's also plants kind of migrate a little bit too. That happens. So they're living, they're alive, they're living. And the more affectionate and communicative with them and like inclusive with them that we are, the more healthy that they are, the more productive that they are. They produce more. There's experimentation on this, not on cannabis plants necessarily, but on like regular ass plants. If you talk down to it, it doesn't matter how much you give it as far as food and water and what it needs.
You can give equal
amounts of all of that, and the one you talk down to is the one that's going to die, versus the one you talk lovingly to. But also the one you neglect dies faster. So when we talk about these people producing this Walmart weed, how much love and affection do you think they get from human beings versus machinery?
And no one's paying attention to that profile of what that flower looks like as it's moving through its stages, or maybe someone is, but they're too busy because they've got acres of plants to look at, versus because again, maybe there's not enough employees, and
because they're only paying them $15 an hour. Get the fuck out of here.
We're not saying that MSOs can't exist and provide a good product, but that's what you need to pay attention to. How is this really affecting me the way that it says it should, the way that I need it to? And don't support those companies if it's not. Find something else. Try something else. Ask for something else.
Go to a small business.
Go to a small business.
Stop going. And you know what you could do, Missouri, if this law passes? Refuse to go to MSO. Refuse to go to those. Only go to micro licensed businesses. Only support micro licenses in your state.
Your communities. Really support your local government in making sure that you have access in your community to a micro licensed business, and support that and really make it happen. Then
if they're not going to do it for you,
when we say we have to, if it's going to happen, we're going to adapt, we're going to make it happen. Well, then support those, be true to your word of I need the access.
And the only problem I see with it, the only problem I see with it is the licensing. If that's the only problem you see with it, if this passes, then you should express that problem through how you spend your money, and go only spend your money in micro licensed businesses,
and start supporting those that have to work to now expand the capabilities for growth in the communities that need it the most.
I want to say it. I'm going to say it out loud. Y'all are going to catch those people who say, oh, it's not that big of a deal. We don't want corporations to take over, but we're going to vote yes because it gives us access. And we think that the only problem that we see is the difference between the licenses. Watch them not support those micro licenses. Watch them not even care about that difference once it legalizes.
And 3 plants is not enough. Woo! Go you! You get to grow 3 plants. You can only grow 3 carrots. You can only grow 3 tomatoes. And you can only, buy it from a small facility that...
Who came up with that number? Like, who decides that?
Yeah.
It wasn't y'all. Y'all didn't decide that. Y'all didn't go, 3's enough. Ugh, I know. Listen.
Yay, thank you for 3. No, we got 6. We at least got 6. At least got 6. And as a medical patient, you can ask,
get more.
Okay.
Okay. Oh no, that's a bad one. Ooh, nope. No. That was one that needed a trigger warning. I can't do that one.
No, thank you.
Oh, okay. Here you go.
Calendar.
Here you go. Okay. You ready to put this in the notes?
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna move on to our would you rather for the day. Okay, you guys.
Okay.
Wake up in the comments. Are you guys there, guys and gals? Guys and gals and everybody. Everybody there. I haven't seen in the comments. Where's your cousin at? Where's Kelly at too? I've seen her. I hope they're okay. Holla. Yo, Chris is here. We were talking about, make sure you go watch the playback if you didn't catch the front end of the show, because we were talking about Arkansas for sure. I don't know how we feel about it.
There's a lot more into it, and I definitely, as I was reading through the Ballotpedia, there is a lot. So
I feel torn.
You get 6 days to decide to get your vote in. So review it, check it out. It does front and center let you know what that percentage goes to, and really it's.
Oh, this one's good. I think this one's good. And I think this one's good.
Okay, go for it. I'm not. Which one?
This one.
Oh God.
Okay. I have no idea.
Okay.
That's scary.
Go for it.
Oh, don't worry, because the playback will be up in less than 24 hours, most likely on the video playback, and then I'll have it posted tomorrow. I have it on my schedule to post, so I'll have it posted tomorrow, and you can hear all of the wonderful rants and raves that we had. We have a shit ton of candy, you guys. So much candy. Anyways, we're going to do a would you rather. So everybody in comments, wake the fuck up, because this is a good one. Okay, you ready? Would you rather? Let me just pull it up again, because I want to word this correctly. All right. Would you rather wake up in the middle of an unknown desert, or wake up in a rowboat on an unknown body of water? I think the first relevant question I have is,
or in a rowboat of unknown
body of water. So my first relevant question is this a saltwater body of water or a freshwater body of water?
I don't even know. I'm not waking up in water at all. I'm going to be in this unknown desert. Nope. Anyone that knows me knows that I am not the water person. I am on top of it, okay, but not like that.
I mean, you are on top of it because you're in a rowboat. Okay, can you not eat your ass on camera? Okay, thanks. Sorry. Censored.
Not this though. That
don't look at my dog.
And she is totally on camera too. No. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, unknown body of water. I feel like
an unknown body. Like you don't know where you are, but maybe it's not unknown to everybody. You just wake up and you don't know where you are. Like I'm in an unknown desert. Like I don't know where deserts look like deserts.
And it's an expanse. So
Right.
I feel like it would be like saltwater, not like Lake Michigan.
That's a good point. It's going to be water where there's nobody. I mean, if we're in the middle of it, that's where I'm waking up, huh?
Yeah.
Either way, your water source is fucked.
Right? I know. Either way, this is pretty ragged. Like, it's hi.
We know. We're getting to it. It's not even time yet. So stop begging for stuff it's not time for yet.
Oh, excuse you.
What do you guys think? What do you fuckers think? I'm just kidding. I was just trying it out. It didn't sound right. So what do y'all think?
Would you rather wake up in the middle of an unknown desert or in a rowboat in an unknown body of water?
I mean, my rowboat's intact. It's tough, right? Because who's walking through the desert? But also boats go through water. How did I get there? I mean, also, how did you get there in the desert if nobody's walking?
I know. Am I walking around also, like the sand desert?
Like, did somebody get pissed? Like, did I walk out the door and it's just like sand? Did I piss somebody off? How did I get here? But I feel like in water, there's more likelihood of passing vessels.
For me, it's the more likelihood, I guess, that something is going to eat me.
But you're in a rowboat.
I don't care. It will still eat you in a rowboat if it's big enough.
Valid, but am I on my period?
Do you also have fresh water in your rowboat?
Right. Do I have
water in my desert?
Well, we dropped. Is this Naked and Afraid?
Yeah. Are we supposed to find resources, or do we have access to shit?
See, so I'm a Pisces.
I would rather not do either.
I mean, of course. Hey, if I'm ever kidnapped, somebody call Liam Neeson, whatever the fuck his name is, call him and be like, my friend is lost. My friend has been kidnapped. We have to find her.
They are still lobbying for her release. The Russian basketball player, or the basketball
they still are, but Russia said fuck all the way off and gave her 9 years. Is the last update that I saw. Which is unfortunate over a fucking plant, you guys. I mean, that's not even. It wasn't even. It was like a vape pen. You guys, if I'm going to jail for this, it better not be because of my vape pen. It better be because I was going all the way hard and I said, "Fuck it."
They're pushing the Biden administration. Let's see.
What day was this? This is today. Yesterday. Sorry.
Okay.
Today is the 2nd.
More than 24 members of Congress are urging the State Department to escalate diplomatic efforts to secure the release of a U.S. citizen and medical marijuana patient who's imprisoned in Russia over cannabis.
Yeah, let her go. It was a fucking vape pen. Y'all, calm down.
Oh, and this isn't even for her.
Wait, it's for somebody else?
This is for Mark Fogel after he was sentenced to 14 years in a Russian prison for low-level possession. Okay.
So it's not even for her.
They have shown proof of his medical condition. He was still sentenced to an unconscionable 14 years of hard labor. He is a registered cannabis patient.
He's a teacher.
Oh my gosh. And but
what do you got to do to get 2 people released?
All right, and so they're also.
Can we trade them? Can we give them some people to imprison?
Right. So it says
I know that it's not ethical, but
all right. So it says the coalition of 9 senators and 16 House members wrote that the State Department should formally classify Fogel as a wrongfully detained person, a designation that the government has assigned to WNBA player Brittany Griner, whose recent appeal of a 9-year prison sentence was rejected by the court, Russian court.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, his family has lost contact with him since he's been sent to an undisclosed penal colony.
You guys,
why are we again? Why
going
are
to
we?
Russia?
Yeah, why are we detaining people over a plant?
Please this time we didn't do it.
You know what? Just can we legalize it so everyone can just go ahead and start importing and exporting it across the globe, and then y'all can start worrying about that as a source. But oh god, big oil might have a fucking shit to say about that. Sorry, can't do that.
I know, right?
My money is mine.
Y'all gonna answer my would you rather?
No, I know.
They never did. They just said this is tough. And they just
I know.
opted out.
Do we want to give a second would you rather, see if anyone bites?
First of all, I'm going for water, and I'm gonna go for a second one. Yeah, we'll go for a second.
Okay.
You can put this one on there too, and then I'll just choose which one to put on the Spotify. I put these on the Spotify too. So if you guys go into the Spotify episodes, since I've been doing this, you'll see, and I make them expire within a month. So you have a month to answer what you would rather do. And it kind of helps boost our stuff in Spotify. So go check it out. I can only put one in though. So I just choose which one I'm going to do. Okay. The other one I was going to do is this one. Okay. Would you rather be an amazing artist, but not be able to see any of the art you created, or be an amazing musician and not be able to hear any of the music you created? So you're an amazing artist either way, but you just can't enjoy your work. And one is about seeing it and one is about hearing it. Is it just my music I can't hear? Or, I mean, I feel like if it's just my stuff that I can't see or hear, I'll take your word for it.
Does it say hear your art, or does it just be able to see?
You create music, but you won't be able to hear it. And you create art, but you won't be able to see it. I would do,
I feel like you would have to be able to see other art in order to be an amazing artist.
Right now, yeah, but you wouldn't be able to see your art.
You wouldn't be able to see your art.
You wouldn't be able to hear your music.
Okay.
Yeah, like that's how I feel too. So I would I think go with seeing the response from others is good enough. Exactly. That's how I feel too. So I think, because I always want to be also, but I want to learn to play the saxophone. So there's that. But also I always kind of, one of my main complaints in my partnership with MJ is that I am fully unable to physically contribute to the artwork that we put out. So I contribute in ways of like, you know, what the aesthetic is and what I think, how I think things would look good. And I think that we both have like a pretty high level of taste. So we pretty much agree on a lot of what's going on. So then I can't just like take over if something happens to her and do art. Like that's just is never going to happen. So that's like, so I think I would want to be able to be an artist in that physical sense, in that like being able to draw or paint or whatever, and then just not be able to see it. I could still wear it though, right?
I don't know. Would you be able to see it though?
Yeah,
like,
so what if I can't see it? If I can't see the designs, but everybody else is like, that's the dopest shit I ever saw, but it's all blurry to me. Fine with me. It's fine with me.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's an interesting, I mean, obviously these are questions that they're hypothetical that don't have an answer, but yeah, I think that knowing, you know what, I say that, but then we actually get those responses and still go, oh, we're not good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like we get those responses about what we're doing and like the vibe that we put out, and then still have those days where we like struggle to feel good enough for y'all. Like, and we know it's not y'all's fault. We know y'all aren't judging us like that. Y'all are really supportive. So it's just, I don't know, but
human.
It's superhuman. No, well, superhumans. But also I want to be an artist. So I still feel like that's the one I would choose.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess in the opposite sense is like part of being an, a visual artist and creating is seeing your work.
Maybe you can see the
created. So whatever's in my head.
Yeah.
I get to see it, but I don't get to
see it as a whole on
I don't know,
in the world.
I mean, because there are those artists that are, are blind or are deaf and do create.
And could you imagine if so? I wonder if the picture in their head is different than what people would perceive too. Right? So like the picture in your head, and then when people are like, oh my God, that's amazing, might be two different things because you perceived it one way in your head, but you don't see the finished product. You only see it in the pieces that you're working at.
Right.
Interesting. I guess that's how you would, I mean, you couldn't hear it, like you couldn't see the whole finished thing.
And so for me, for music, like I am not musically driven like you, and almost every single one of my friends is very like playlist, as you're doing your things, music. Like I am not, I love music. I love getting influenced by everybody. I have a playlist out that I love, and I do have, aesthetics that I like personally, but do I know, and so I think that's why I do surround myself by, with friends that love
she
music,
never complains about
their music. I'm like, what?
Even when I hate it.
And so I do know how to play an instrument. I did play the flute. I do like the idea of playing. I want to play the banjo. Like if I could learn how to play an instrument, I would.
We're gonna be the weirdest band you ever.
Banjo and saxophone.
With like fucking like hardcore vibes coming off of our album cover, so it looks like a heavy metal. You want to join our band?
That movie on Netflix is pretty funny. Metal Lords, I think is what it's called. It's funny. Anyway, so I would be okay with being an amazing musician and not hearing my music. As long as I can still hear other music,
yeah,
I'm okay with that. But as an artist, I want to be able to see my art that I'm creating.
Yeah, I wonder if when you're creating it, it's just like a whole blur and you're just like creating a picture.
Like, right? Like, do you go into a trance? Do you go into a trance? Like,
yeah, how would
and then someone comes and whisks it away before you. So fun. I like that one. I don't like the desert road thing because feel like either way you die.
Yeah, not necessarily. I feel like there's more traffic on the way. I feel like there's more traffic on the water. I feel like you have a chance.
What if you're in the Bermuda Triangle?
Oh, the Bermuda Triangle. The thing that plagued me as an 8-year-old. I thought people.
Think it did everybody. I think they really pushed the Bermuda Triangle.
It was an unsolved mystery. I definitely was on there several times. I was definitely like, a little bit of me wanted to travel to the Bermuda Triangle, find out where all these motherfuckers was going. Like, what is this? Is this like going to paradise?
I feel like I read I don't even know, maybe this is just a dream, but something about the way that the atmosphere like it definitely, kind of like the way that the ocean currents keep particles in a certain area, that if you get into like you're getting to this wind pocket and cause it, and then you get stuck in this that no one can get to. I don't know. It's fucking. Hey, it's as crazy as yours trees walking the pathway.
Trees used to walk. They still do, I think. Listen. Did you guys know?
I believe in living forests. I am and Lord of the Ring believer.
She has a conspiracy theory about the Air Force controlling the weather.
Yeah, so exactly. So I'm just sitting in my own world over here. Just
it's a valid one though. I mean, you're not wrong about it. You're not wrong about that. Still, this last one too.
Join our Discord if you want to find out what my conspiracy theory is regard to Florida.
Yeah.
And the weather. Yes. Walking trees. Migration, happens. Hey. Oh, yeah. Okay.
We thought they were getting rowdy. We were like, not on our watch.
Prepare. Would it not be able to hear my music? Seeing the responsibility. Okay, I didn't read the whole thing.
Yeah. Hearing is seeing and vice versa. Oh, good call. Could you see the musical notes and hear the picture?
Right. And then can you
what kind of drugs?
Can you feel the vibration?
What kind of drugs cause that, hearing your picture and seeing your music? Because I want those. I want some of those drugs.
I'm sure there's some mushrooms that could get you
I bet there are. I'm positive there are.
Pretty sure.
If you want to DM me and we can figure out how you get them to me, we're taking donations.
We would love to. We want to have another mushroom conversation. I think that's another thing that people ask me about often is about the world of mushrooms, and so even just on I think some more things were sparked for me watching that documentary. Yeah, just in what we caught while we were getting ready.
I'll have to watch it again.
But Netflix thing. I don't know.
There's a Netflix documentary. You should watch it on fungi.
My
not fun guys. But
mycopathy. The study of mushrooms. Yeah. And mycology. Yes. You know what we're getting at. And it is 6:12. We went a little past our would you rather time. I think
we don't have a joint to light. But we do have a vape. We have vapors.
Oh. Not prepared. Sorry.
It's okay. So as usual, everybody, be nice to yourself. Put your mask on before assisting others. Please and thank you. Oh, don't forget to check out our merch, www.queenkittyseltzer.com. If you forget, go to our solo. And if you go to our solo, check out our social media pages and go like and share and all that. Sheesh.
Yes, we've been posting adventures. Our new can look release is here. We have a new delivery of lemon, so check out your locations. We're gonna with that. Oh, I need to actually on our website we will have locations that are carrying Queen Kitty.
Ooh, and soon
we're
we're going to have cans available for you.
Cans available online. Shipping costs will be incurred by you, but we will send you extra love from our heart and gratitude
for supporting us.
We
cannot ship to Hawaii, Mississippi, New Hampshire,
Idaho,
or Iowa. Those are the only places we can't ship to, but we can ship to all the other places. So we're working on getting the shipping and everything worked out. The shipping costs are kind of higher, but we are shipping you cans of water. So you'll be able to order them in 8+ options. And yeah, you'll be able to have them in your home as you requested. We told you we were working on it. We've been working on it. We finally figured out a solution, which was a simple one that we should have come up with in the beginning, but whatever. We're a work in progress.
And we're doing it on our own, step by step. So piece by piece. So we're looking forward to this being another way that y'all can, enjoy our love.
You can wear us or you can drink us.
And that we are, we get a little bit of education and us on every can of Queen Kitty.
I was doing my hair flips.
You can be a queen and rock our gear.
We prefer wake me up before you go because we I feel like we both have a little insomnia situations. It just depends on what's going on in our day and how hard things were. So generally speaking, we use the wake me ups, but sometimes we use the wine. But it's more rare to use the wine.
Yeah, I used to never ever really utilize indicas at all. I never needed them. I could straight chief down all my high energy whatever diesel that I got in my bag and go to bed. But as time has gone by, I'm like, that's silly to waste, the cultivars that do help me get through a day, and actually start paying attention to other ones that really put me at a place where I can get good sleep, where I don't wake up, or where at least I get a restful sleep, even if if I am waking up. So for me, it's been playing around with, and as my body chemistry has changed, I've had to utilize different things. So it's been interesting to
the journey's always the most fun.
Yeah.
Did you say your thing?
I did not. With that, cultivate love. Bring it to you. You deserve it. I was like, what are we hanging out for? So here. And of course, stay lifted, y'all. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you so much for being here with us. We love y'all.
We love you.
Go vote. Don't forget. See you on Monday. We love y'all. Peace out.